Right, so today on our Spotlight segment, we're hanging out with one gospel artist. He's been doing great in the gospel fraternity. He's worked with the likes of Selena Boateng, the award-winning singer. And of course, he's looking for us to do greater things in the industry. It's always time to, get new ones in there to take over from the old ones. And, well, today my guest is Harry Fisher. He joins me to tell me more about what to expect from him. Welcome to Let's Talk Showbiz.
Thank you, sis. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And, well, how long have you been doing music?
It's been like 20 years, yes, roughly 20.
Wow. What has kept you so long? Because, yes, we have a lot of gospel musicians. They're doing so well. I'm sure you're equally doing well, but why are you not out there like the front side of everything?
Well, like we all believe, times and seasons. But also, I've been doing the little I can. Sometimes you just need one person to believe in what you do, like in your ministry, in the kind of talent, the giftings God has given you, and then help you to push up that gifting. And I think that's what has been the challenge over the years. But I believe with God's own time, He brings the people around and then helps you to get to that level where you want to get to. Yeah.
But so far, being in it and doing what you're doing, what do you make of the industry?
I think we have grown. I think we're still growing. Looking at where we took it from so many years ago and where we have gotten to now. Now you see that most of the contemporary guys are taking over the gospel music industry. It never used to be like that. We're doing typical gospel music songs. But today a bit of the contemporary has come in, so the phase has changed a bit, and the young guys are now taking over the gospel music industry. So I think we are growing, and we're also trying to learn to be better, like you said in the beginning. So we'll get there by God's grace.
Let me put you on the spot before we do more. Can you just sing something for me?
Okay, so I'm going to do this song on my latest album with Selena Boateng. And it says, he shouted and said, I am done. Jesus shouted and said, I'm done. After suffered many hours in their hands, upon everything the people did to him, he said, Father, forgive them, they don't know what they do. He shouted and said, I'm done.
Ooh, wow, that's a lovely one. For gospel, I thought I was going to hear something like a chi verse, but I mean, to get you singing in English is great to hear that.
It has a chi in an English part also. That's how the song is like. It's basically about the death of Jesus on the cross, where Jesus said it is finished. But we used I'm done, to change the phrase a bit. But basically, that's it.
How did you get Selena Boateng to feature on your album anyway?
Actually, I'm a producer, studio engineer. So the brother I work with, Brother David, who has a studio in Kaswa, is very close to Selena. So while we're recording the song, we were thinking of getting other music ministers on the song. And fortunately, Selena was the person we got to be on the song. Yes.
I mean, how did it feel? Especially, I know it's not easy to get some of them to be on your songs. How did it feel, working with her? How was the experience like?
It was a great experience when she came over to the studio. And then also, she accepted to be a location for the video. And so it was very great. I had to learn a lot. And she was very open to me. She accepted me as a brother. And then it was very, very good experience.
Of course, we're in 2019. You have an album already. What are your plans for the year?
Already have about 3 albums already from 2007 till now. So by the grace of God, on the 14th of April, I'm releasing my 4th album. Yes, on which I feature Selena on that song. So the 4th album is coming out this year by the grace of God. Yeah.
Now with the albums, because you're talking about albums, do you just release them and leave them in the market, or you put them on Spotify, all those things where you can actually make money off it?
Let's say my very major album we did as a group by name Disciples in the year 2004. I think then iTunes and stuff weren't so much in existence. And then I came to release my first album in 2007. We didn't really have those platforms, digital platforms then 2012. So in 2012, so those two albums, solo albums, are not on any digital platform. But at the moment, my third album, Exceeding Love, which was released in 2016, is currently on iTunes, on Amazon, on Spotify as well. Yes.
Right. Now, before we wrap up, tell me, what are your expectations for the gospel fraternity, especially the music industry? What are your expectations, and what would you like to say, or what are some of the artists you're looking forward to work with after your album release?
Lots of the guys I'm looking out to work with. I love my brother. A lot of people say I look like him and I sing like him, but we started a long way. So Joe Metal is one person that I would love to work with very soon. He's been my brother way back 2005. We've been very good friends. Eugene Zuta, Isaiah Fusukwache, lots of the guys are in the system who are doing well, and those are the people I would love to work with in the years to come, because I believe God is about to do great things. And so you also get closer to those who by God's grace have gotten to that level. And then I believe once you believe in their grace, the grace upon their life, God also would lift you up. And I also believe in outside, I want to really, really work with a person like Nathaniel Bassi. I love him. I love his ministry. I love his songs. Pastor Joe Beecham is somebody when I started music, he was one person I was really learning from. And I could sing like Pastor Joe Beecham, those times. So I would love to work with all those people in the years to come.
And I'm sure you would like to put out your social media handles just in case we want to get in touch with you and ask you more questions in terms of your music.
No problem. On Facebook, it's Harry Fishian. And then I'm on Instagram, Harry Fishian GH. And then on Twitter, I'm Harry Fishian GH. So those, yes. And then you can get my songs on iTunes, on Amazon, on Spotify as well. Yes, please.
Guys, Harry Fishian here for you. And, well, he's looking forward to a great 2019 and look forward to it. And of course, get in touch with him on all his social media platforms. Get his music. Let's support Ghanaian music, especially gospel music. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you. God bless you so much for the time. Okay. I appreciate it.
So we're just seeing the launch of the 5th edition of the Stanbic Jazz Festival, and this time around all these three greats are coming. Richard Bono coming back for the third time, I think, UB40 for the first time, and Salif Keita, who's about retiring this year. How were you able to plug him here?
It's taking a lot of hard work, tapping into our network and believing that only the best is good enough for the good people of this country. And so if we're going to have a festival that would live up to the billing of nostalgia, we needed to have these guys here. And so we put all the stops and made it possible to happen. I mean, me being a Kumasi boy, growing up in Prempeh College and hearing about and knowing that it's possible for UB40 to come into Ghana to be part of the festival was enough of an incentive to do whatever it took to get them here. And we are glad that they've agreed to come down. So we have the combination. We have UB40, Salif Keita, and of course, the incomparable Richard Bona. Yeah.
Well, Richard Bona I can understand because he has done it before. We've experienced it. But what went into deciding on UB40 and Salif Keita?
So Salif Keita is a huge legend, and he strides across several music genres. And so you could see him in Afro rock, you could see him in Afro pop, you could see him doing jazz. He's just multi-talented. And for us, again, the kicker was the fact that this year is his final tour year. After this year, he's not going on tour again. He's paid his dues, he's done his service, and he says he wants to retire comfortably. And so we couldn't afford to miss the chance. We needed to bring him here. And so that was the decision for Salif. Now, UB40 was the interesting one because UB40 doesn't fit into your conventional narrow definition of a jazz performance. But if you look at the entirety of their work, by every definition, they've been there, seen it, done it, achieved it, and we thought that it was important to extend the scope to be able to contain the magic of UB40. And so that's why our Jazz and Music Festival this year has UB40, Salif Keita, and Richard Bona for 3 days right on the beach. I mean, it's not happened before.
Exactly my point. It's not been easy for the past 4 years, bringing jazz great and making sure that people really love jazz. It was a beautiful thing at the dinner setting, but at the beach, why that twist this year?
Because we have this lovely ocean, and people who've been outside this country who've seen shows on the beach will attest to the very magical nature of it. We've had the privilege of hosting different events on the beach in Ghana and across Ghana. And I tell you, there is just something about that atmosphere which is beyond description. You have to be there to experience it. And that's the magic we're trying to bring to Ghana. World-class standards, make sure that it is comparable, it matches to the best there is everywhere. And again, give the wonderful people of Ghana the quality experience that they deserve. Not only to break from the challenges we have, but also to give them reason to celebrate and to live life to the fullest, knowing that their backs are covered when it comes to their money, their backs are covered when it comes to their finances, and also their backs are covered when it comes to the little pleasures of life that eases them up and prepares them for tomorrow.
Well, I've also noticed that you're not only giving the people the beach experience or the jazz experience, you are taking jazz to the streets and to the neighborhoods. Wait, first off, why that, and what do you hope to achieve with that?
It's important that we get as many people as possible in this country to participate in the Stanbic Jazz Festival. We appreciate that given the investment required to put this together, it's almost always a challenge for some people to be able to attend. And to that extent, for example, I mean, it doesn't happen often in Ghana, but we actually brought down some of the prices. I mean, some of the ticket options we have available this year are cheaper than they were 2 years ago because we want as many people as possible to participate in the festival. Even there, we realize that it is not enough. And so what we're doing is have free for all shows in different communities for the communities to enjoy the jazz. Also because we believe it's an opportunity to nourish talent, to let people become confident that this is what God's given me, I can do it, and to create a space where the communities themselves become part of the festival. As many people we have participating in the festival, the better it is for the growth and the sustainability of the festival.
And you have selected artists who are going to be on these road tours here from this country?
We definitely have. We definitely have. And it's a whole list. We have about 12 to 15 artists who will be participating. So just watch that space. Be ready. It could be on your street corner where the Stanbic Jazz Festival train would be stopping.